Hey guys, Jonah here, back with a beer review. Hey, it's been a while, but yeah, back on the beers. Had a few last night, my God. Kind of got a tad messy, but not too bad, down at the Royston. But on the way out, I thought it was a bargain, and then it turned out it wasn't as much of a bargain as I first thought. But anyway, I got this bad boy. Sunset Oregon Trail by Elusive Brewing. And if you look, it says it's a West Coast red IPA. And if it focus, it's 5.8% A. And if we flip this bad boy around, oops, it says Elusive Brewing creates beers with one eye on tradition and the other, on next level. Insert coin, blah 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 blah. This classically styled West Coast red IPA has Simcoe, Chinook, and Columbus hops combined to deliver a resinous profile with citrus undertone. The bitterness helps to balance the deep caramel of the malt. But something that I noticed in here, I don't know if you can see, yeah, it's over here, rye. So it's a rye PA, not an IPA. And there are loads of different versions of this particular beer. Oregon Trail is one of Elusive Brewing's kind of showcase beers. It's been around since they started, more or less. Andy Parker. Yeah, he used to be a home brewer. Yeah, this beer, not this beer, but this range of beers. The Oregon Trail was one of the first ones he did, as far as I know. And this one, a little bit stronger, and it's got the red rye in that bad boy. So it's a rye PA. And I got this from Andy. Andy was there minding bar. James was there as well. And I can't remember the other guy. Sorry, the big dude. Hey, sorry, big dude. I can't remember who you are, but you gave me these beers, which is fan dabby dozy. This has been in the fridge since yesterday, actually. Why not? Let's do this. Elusive. And got the glasses on my noggin, but I've also, because it's Sunday, it's the start of the motorbike season, and it's really early this year. From Australia, technically it started yesterday, and because it was Australia, it was really early in the morning. It was like 3 a.m. UK time, which was sort of in the afternoon over there. Absolutely ridiculous, and not giving away anything, but the guy who kind of pushed Top Rack last year to the title, it came down to the last weekend. Yeah, just cleaned up, man. Like you got two guys who are like head and shoulders above the rest, and then when one of the guys, Top Rack, he obviously went to MotoGP. Is it any surprise that the one guy who was pushing him last year just cleaned up, like literally everything, every session? Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, looking at the colour, we definitely got some good carbonation on there. But yeah, I was expecting it to be a bit more red than it is. Perhaps the draft version, or I should say the cask version in this case, because I would have got this at the Royston on cask, but I missed it. So I've got it in cans instead. Really, really good finger of head, which is always nice. Slightly off white. It's sort of yellowy, perhaps a creamy kind of head. It's going to have that rye poke in there, as well as the resinous kind of stuff. Maybe not so much on the nose. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting that rye now. And a rye PA is fantastic. I am absolutely fed up with session IPAs. I know I didn't ever like them, but it's just got absolutely ridiculous now that a session IPA, so an IPA beer, has less alcohol than a pale ale, which is, where IPAs came from pale ales. IPA, just ridiculous. India Pale Ale. But no, some of these are like 2%. It's hop water. So it's really good that I'm getting back into some proper IPA. So cheers to the two Andys, Andy at the Royston and Andy P. Thank you very much to both of you guys. Cheers and beers. Oh, okay. Interesting. I thought it was going to be a bit more malty, a bit more of that rye, but this one is quite sweet. And there is a lot of hops in there, you can tell, but it's not superbly bitter, which is usually what you get because it is a West Coast beer, essentially. Where's the thingy? Where's the can? I left it over there. It says it down there. West Coast Red IPA. So you expect with a West Coast style beer for it to be really bitter, really hoppy. This is hoppy, but it's not so bitter. It's got quite a creaminess there too. It's got a medium kind of mouthfeel, I'd say, and those hops are definitely around. Definitely getting that pininess. Pardon me, a little bit of that resinous thing there too. Yeah, I'm getting a kind of caramelness, but it's like well, I guess it's pairing up with the Simcoe hops, and Simcoe give that kind of orangey thing. It's not as much as Amarillo does, but Simcoe definitely gives that kind of orangey thing. Well, at least for me, anyway. So it's not quite a marmalade-y thing, but it's like kind of a sweet orange. Is there a sunset in the picture? No. So it's Sunset Trail. There should have been a sunset. I would say in the picture there somewhere, but you definitely get that kind of that kind of orangey thing, which could be the sun in the sky. Let's go in for some more. Okay, so perhaps some of the particulates have floated to the bottom a little bit, but this time I was getting a bit of that rye coming through, but really up front, and then the bitterness took over, then the sweetness counterbalance. Or when I say bitterness, I probably just mean the hops kind of came in. Um, yeah, and there's some. This goes on for a quite lingering long finish. 5.8%, bang on in IPA territory. I think that's a good place to be, around 6%. Yeah, nice. I would have loved to have this in cask, and I kind of missed it. It's my fault. Haven't really been feeling it too much lately. So when I went into the Royston yesterday, they were like, "Hey, Jonah!" It was a bit like Cheers when Norm walks in. It's like, "Hey, Jonah." So I did feel very much at home. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, my mojo has not been where it should be of late. And I do know the reason why, and I can't really go into too many details, but when you kind of change your role, change your job, you're trying to learn stuff. It's just kind of knocked me. It really has knocked me back. Yeah, so I'm not thinking the same way as I used to, which is a real shame. But hey, never mind. And I'm not drinking so much, just because I'm trying to bring my blood sugar down a bit. Because Jesus Christ, it's through the roof, and yeah, my cholesterol's apparently really high as well. So I've got to sort that out. But anyway, So slightly less beers being drunk by your loving Uncle Jonah. Don't know for how long, because I don't know if I can deal with life without beer. But at the moment, I'm not drinking so much. Hence, not so many reviews. So apologies, but it's yeah, come from a health point of view. But I still will be doing reviews. It just means I won't be doing as many as I used to. Yeah, so I really wanted to like this because Elusive, I've met Andy Parker a couple of times now. Really good guy. And yeah, he, I think I was drunk both times because I was doing beer judging both times. So anyway, but I have met him a few times. And yeah, I would say this beer, I really wanted it to be a bit more rye, a bit more bitter, and less sweet. It's a little bit too sweet for me. And maybe that's kind of what he was going for, that caramel kind of thing. But I think it's coming through a bit too much. And for a West Coast beer, yeah, it needs to be a bit hoppier, a bit more bitter. I know that's not technically where things are seated at the moment. But yeah, for me, a little bit too sweet, a bit too caramelly. There is a double version of this, which is, I think, a lot stronger. It's sort of 8-9% or something like that. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. But I haven't tried that one, obviously. I'm nitpicking a little bit because this is a really nice beer. But yeah, and more rye. I want more rye in my RyePA. Let's see what we get on the finish. See, it's there. It is there. The rye taste is there, but just not enough of it for me. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Wow, look at that. They got some, look, there's like an albatross floating above the sea of foam. That's really good. I haven't seen one of those. Look at that. That's amazing. It looks like there's something there sticking out of the sea that bad boy is going to go in and munch on. Let's see round the back. What have we got? Got some kind of ghostly figures and some sort of dancing elephants in the foam. It's I love foam watch. And look, there's a sort of jumping fish coming out of the sea as well. That is fantastic. I love waxing lyrical about foam. One of my beer heroes, Charlie Bamford, he is a foam meister. He can talk the ears off a donkey about foam, and I really love listening to his view on things, because it's slightly old school, but Jesus Christ, he knows about beer, and I like hearing about some of the old sort of 1970s and definitely 1980s kind of beers, which is kind of where I started sneaking those kind of lagers out of either parents or uncles kind of, and drinking a sip and going, oh, I'm so drunk. Those days when I was knee high to a grasshopper. But we all started drinking beer. Well, a lot of us in the UK anyway started in our kind of teens, our young teens, by nicking some of our dad's stash. Anyway, that's what we're talking about. Nice beer. I was going to score this really high. I probably will anyway because I like Elusive. But there are definitely some things to kind of fix on version 2 of this bad boy, and hopefully I will drink this one again. Andy, I don't know if you're watching, I don't know if you're listening, but yeah, dial the sweetness down on this bad boy and up the rye. That's what I would say. This has been your loving Uncle Jonah drinking beer for your entertainment. And if you're here, thank you for staying this long. I'll be back. I'll be back with another beer review, and that'll be coming up real soon.